What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Flame070 and today's video we are back at it again with Spellbreak. Last couple of videos we've been covering this amazing new battle royale, so please make sure to check out the links down below, the cards up above, and look for these thumbnails that you guys see on screen. I've been covering the review of the game, showcasing some gameplay, and last time we talked about the Tempest class. Today's episode is going to be all about the Stone class, the Stoneshaper class, the Earth class, breaking down the goods, the bad, the what you need to know if you're going to use this class in this game if you're jumping in for the first time. So without further ado, let's get to it. So again, just a brief introduction to Spellbreak. Spellbreak is a new mage battle royale that has just been released on all platforms. It has been in development for quite some time. I actually had the pleasure of playing during the alpha phase, and it's been amazing to see the progression and the change that this game has gone through in that time. But today we're going to be talking about Stoneshaper, the Earth class, one of the strongest gauntlets in the game, I think, in terms of damage, in terms of just usability and stuff like that. And we're going to break that all down. So let's just start with the basics. What do you get when you use the Stoneshaper class off the gate? Well, as a gauntlet, you get to use the stone, which comes in with a ground attack and a boulder, kind of ultimate sorcery move. This right here, this just alone is actually pretty strong because the shockwave ground attack really packs a punch even on the lowest tier gauntlet level, regardless if you're not using the class or not. It just hits really hard, about 35 damage depending, and you can knock shields really fast. It's really good. Now, in conjunction, if you're actually using the class, you get some cool perks that really make this one of the best classes to use if you're really aggressive, you really like to be in someone's face. And that is when your armor is less than 20, every time you use the shockwave ground attack, you actually get +5 armor. So that means if you just cast a spell 5 times, you will get 20 armor right off the bat. This is great for those initial fights when you're just landing, you're looking for your belt, you're looking for armor, but you kind of don't want to just loot, you just want to go fight. This is a great class for that. You can just go in and be in someone's face, and in the fight you actually get some health back. And what's also great about this is, that means your health pool will kind of stay consistent as long as you are able to avoid attacks. You kind of stay in advantage and have a bigger health pool than your enemies, which is really cool. And like I said, in conjunction with the fact that stone hits the hardest out of all the gauntlets, you're gonna be in for a really good time in terms of versatility, in terms of fights. However, one of the biggest things that limits Stoneshaper, and I think this is by design, is the fact that its main attack is a ground-based attack. You cannot hit your enemies if they're floating in the air, they're flying around, they're above you or levitating. You're not going to be able to hit your opponents, and it's not, the range is limited. So with that means you really got to think about the kind of other gauntlets you can pair stone with to really give yourself a well-balanced kit in order to last throughout the matches. In my personal opinion, we're going to go through some of the things I like to do, some of the strategies I like to do in terms of gauntlet. First off is lightning and fire. This is combo. I use them interchangeably just because they just, they fit a certain criteria, and that is allows me to get a gauntlet for distance and for stunning specifically. So lightning is really good to stun your enemies, especially the sorcery. That lightning bolt really gets people kind of to stay still and actually allows them to kind of be open to get hit with the stone attack. So that's why I really like using lightning. But fire is also kind of the same thing. Hit them with the firewall, hit them with a couple of fireballs. They are also going to stay kind of relatively close in that regard, and you'll be able to take advantage and hit them with the stone as well. But mainly, the main reason why I like these two interchangeably is for that distance factor. If someone's a little bit farther away, they're above you, they're floating in the air, use their basic lightning and fire attacks to just hit at them, to chip at them, and wait for an opportunity for them to land. We talked about this combo in our Tempest video, but the wind gauntlet is also good if you just want to use mobility, but that strength really comes in if the wind is your main kind of class, not stone, simply because wind affords you to shoot yourself up with tornado, which I think that's where a lot of the advantages come in, because you can use your boulder to kind of attack from a higher distance and have a little bit more eyesight in terms of when you're launching that. But wind is still pretty good because it allows you that quickness, and it still does give you that mid-range kind of capabilities that stone is kind of lacking in that regard. And then lastly, for enemy control, the combos that I kind of use interchangeably ability is Poison and Frost. This really is all about slowing down your enemies and really kind of controlling the way they move. You know, with Poison, you kind of burn them every time you hit them, and if you hit them with the gas, they definitely get stunned a little bit. And same thing with the Frost Sorcery. If you freeze them in place, you're letting your enemy stay still, and that 1 or 2 seconds that they're frozen is the perfect opportunity for you to take advantage and hit them with your Stone Shockwave. So I think these two classes are very good if you really just want to limit your enemy's movement and abilities. Now, when it comes to runes, these runes are definitely interchangeable. It definitely depends on your play style, how you want to play. But for me, since Stoneshaper right off the gate seems really aggressive, really good for those initial fights to kind of just do a lot of damage and be in someone's face, you know, I recommend Shadow Step and Spring Step runes because they allow you to have a quick rotation or behind an enemy, get out of line of sight really quickly, and just, you know, stay in the fight longer but still be in the face. You know, instead of retreating and coming back in, allows you to stay in but also be nimble and be able to dodge a lot of attacks that are coming your way. And these two runes in particular I found a lot of success in, and I very much enjoyed using Stone in that way for that quick dodge, but, you know, be in the fight, you know, make the enemy back off instead of you trying to back off. That's kind of the way I see it. But I think that is the really basic breakdown of this, you know, class. I haven't really talked about the talent tree. I think we're gonna break that down in its own separate video. But we still have a bunch of classes to cover. And, the next up is Toxology. So please make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to make sure you guys don't miss that. I'm gonna create a playlist that has all these intro videos all in one place so you guys can check that out. And just to recap again, Stone is pretty strong. In my opinion, one of the strongest gauntlets to use, regardless if it's your main class or not. Stone is just really strong, but the fact that it's limited to the ground does, you know, make you have to think about what do you want to pair that up with. And again, in my personal opinion, Lightning or Fire are my go-tos just so you can get that aerial distance, aerial combat ability that you're going to need in this game because everyone's little floating around, flying, and you can't rely on always having people on the ground. And if you really want to be in someone's face, this is the class for you. Pair that up with a Shadow Step or Spring Step rune, you're going to be in someone's face and you're going to be able to last a long time, specifically because of that class perk that gets you armor when you're below 20. So even if you're in the end game, have no more armor potions left, as long as you just launch some shockwaves in a direction, even if you don't hit, you're going to be able to heal yourself up and maintain some semblance of health while in those chaotic end game fights. So very overall, just pretty awesome to use. I definitely recommend. But I think that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate. Again, make sure to hit that like button if you like the information that I posted here, and please make sure to check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv flame078. I go live there playing Spellbreak, playing Apex Legends. So please make sure to check that out. That's when I work on getting the footage that you see guys in these videos live. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Have a great one, and until the next video, my name is Flame078. Adios.